task was, well, there was a movie, if you have seen it, $1 Million Hotel or something like that. And there is a sentence when the guy says, well, I always wanted to read the book, but how to choose which one? So if you ask me about elections, on which elections are you actually referring to, because we have quite a number of them in the last couple of years. So basically our perfect storm of elections started in May of 2014, of course, with EU elections, and then started with, continued with presidential elections, in which I was involved, unfortunately on the losing side. Then with November of 2015 with the parliament elections, the first ones, and then, you know, because there was a, I would say, perfect alignment of the stars, and last year on 18th of June the government fell down. So in September we had new elections, new parliament elections. We currently are in the middle of municipal elections, and the stars have in the meantime aligned themselves once again, and I believe that whether in July or maybe September we'll have elections again. So I'll talk to you about municipal elections, and I will basically just show you the funniest examples of the campaigning we found, and a little bit about the context. So we are not going to go into detail. So this is Social Democrat on the coast of Croatia, and his slogan for the campaign is, whether you believe it or not, your city, our trash. We don't actually understand what that means. I mean, it probably means that, so Croatia is divided in like 20 regions, let's call them regions, and one of the authorities of the region is to take care of your trash. So he is promising to take care of our trash. He basically lost in the first round, and you know, like a major, I mean, seriously bad result. I mean, I would go home and I wouldn't say to anyone I am a politician with that result. This is Croatian Social Liberal Party. They have a slogan, if you are happy, don't vote for us, and people are obviously happy. So very few people decided to vote for them. This is a Croatian Party of Rights or something like that. So they basically used, in more than one poster, they basically used posters from the Third Reich. So you know, if you know history, you are quite sure, even on the first sight, on which side of the history are they on. And a friend of mine recently told me that Croatians, we are such losers that 70 years after we won the Second World War, we are trying to move ourselves to the losing camp. So, you know, that's how big losers we are. So this is Croatian Pensioners Party, part of retired people. So they have a slogan, if you should vote for us while we are still here. So they're still alive. Although, because everybody knows that dead people in Croatia, they vote for Christian Democrats. So, you know, you should take some votes while you can. This is Croatian Peasants Party, and I'm not entirely sure what this means. This is basically a giveaway, you know, it's not a chocolate, it's like a waffle, which they were giving away for some reason. And the slogan is, steer ashes and find a spark in your heart. You know, what did they mean by that? I don't know. I'm not a peasant's voter, so I didn't inquire further about it. So this is a special guy. He used to be a mayor of Split. Split is the second largest city in Croatia. He was a mayor, and then he lost his term from 2013 to 2017, and he's now running again, and it seems that he will win without, it's very hard to understand why he would win, but he will. I mean, that's how it looks like, and he's like a friend of mine said to me, he's not an idiot, he's a superhero among idiots. You know, it's like a Trump on steroids. You know, completely, you haven't seen a personality like that. I mean, I know that we have a lot of experience among us in this room, but you haven't seen anything like it. So he was running for mayor because he said, I'm driving my Lamborghini all over Split and, you know, the roads are uneven and I get it damaged. So I will take care of the roads. You know, this kind of original thinking goes with him. And this is a statement. So the techno, the Ultra is a techno music festival which is happening in Split and surrounding Split. So he basically said, this summer we are going to have a lot of lamb on a spit instead of techno music. I mean, we have a huge appreciation for lamb in Croatia, so it's a cultural thing. You have to try to eat it and you will understand why. So I don't know who this guy is or from which party he's coming from. So he basically said, if you vote for me, you don't have to worry about the things. So I'll, you know, fix everything for you. And these two guys, so this is a race for city of Varaždin. Varaždin is like 80 kilometers north of Zagreb. It's basically a civilized, left-oriented city. And so you shouldn't worry too much about the future of Varaždin, but it happened that Christian Democrats they formed a coalition with a far-right party, and then in the middle of campaign, the far-right party decided to quit the race because they discovered that the candidate for mayor is gay, and he didn't say to anyone that he was gay. So we still have issues with that. And so in response to all of that, the left candidates, Alen Kisic and Predrag Stromar, decided to make a poster like this. So I don't know which line of thinking eventually led to this decision, but they did it. They won in the meantime. So this is Stipe Petrina. He is also one, let's say, colorful county mayor, if we can say so. And this is his one of his posters, which billboard, which says in 2001 his county didn't have any property. I mean, like zero property on the books of the county, and now they have property valued about 180 million kuna, which is roughly 25 million euros. So it's clear sign of progress. Or you can see his other billboard which says Petrina, you know, that's his name, effectively destroys all political pests and parasites. So he is very direct when he sends a letter to the government. He actually, you know, swears a lot, like you have to go, you know, where the sun doesn't shine and these kind of things. So it's quite a colorful person. So, and this is obviously Photoshop, but the Most Coalition, they send an email to their activists. So, for the second round of elections, which is going to be on Sunday this week, you have to look at your address book and go to the shop, buy 20 decagrams of coffee, a box of cookies, and one cartoon of juice, and then find voter and make him go to the polling place. So basically everybody was photoshopping the face of the candidate on boxes and trying to persuade people to come and vote for Most. And my favorite one is James Zagreb. That's Mr. Lovrinovic, who is supposed to be an economist. I mean, if you were reading what he's saying about the economy and how he would run it, you would run away. He said he's your only option, and I called him 1%er option because there was like 1% of people actually voted for him. So we are safe from his economy advices. So just to wrap it up quite quickly, basically, and historically in Croatia, you have two major parties. You have left side party Social Democrats, SDP, and you have right-leaning Croatian Democratic Union, or HDZ. They are claiming new time, new strength, but they're basically old guys there, so it doesn't make sense. And in the last couple of years, I mean, started from 2015, we have seen huge rise of so-called most. Most means bridge in Croatian language. It's basically, they are now a party, but they used to be a coalition of independent lists. And this is basically important because we have seen that independent lists on average in the whole of Croatia have managed to get 50% better results than they had in the previous municipal election in 2013. And if we are monitoring independent lists as a unit, then the independents would be the second most powerful party in Croatia. And the results of independent lists are they on average get about 25% of the support of the electorate versus 10% which they had in 2013. So their influence is gaining ground quite quickly. And as for SDP and Christian Democrats, HDZ is concerned, HDZ is more or less stable at about 30%, while SDP is losing ground, and they have basically lost just about anything they could lose in these local elections. And they are currently, if we monitor number of towns, municipalities, number of local parliament members, they are roughly at 1/3 of the size of HDZ. So the left is losing ground. It's basically losing ground on expense of independents, which are mostly developed on grounds of opposing HDZ on local level. So most is in general right-wing or right-leaning collective. But it's interesting that they get most of the ground from SDP, which is losing ground. And that would be it. Twitter, mail, LinkedIn, if you are not linked to me, do so. That would be all from me.